Hello everybody and welcome back to part 3 of the Logic Pro 9 beginner's tutorial on electronic music production. Um, we're still going to be at the beginner's level, just going through basics of MIDI and piano rolls and editing and different things like that, and soon we're going to start talking about automation and building kicks and basses and doing things like that. So let's just start up with getting sounds in, right? So here I have selected a EVB tone wheel organ, right? And if I hit my caps lock key on my keyboard, I get my little keyboard going on and I can hear some sounds. I can start playing some sounds. Right. So now if I want to get that into the arrangement, let's say I have a chord progression I like, let's say C, D minor, and F, right? So what I can do is I can hit record, and if you hit record, like we spoke about last time, it's very simple. You just hit record and then you play from your keyboard and it's going to record MIDI. So let's try that right now. 2, 3, 4. Created a basic 4-bar loop, and we're just shorten that down a little bit so we can equal it out. And right, so we just recorded something, right? And now let's just make it a little bit bigger so we can see. So now when you make it bigger, you can actually see the MIDI notes on the region. There, you see the first chord, it's lower down on the keyboard, higher up, lower down, higher, right? So you see it's a chord progression. Now, so let's discuss working with MIDI. So first of all, you want to double click on it, right? I mean, you want to select it. You can open up your piano. If you double click on there, the piano opens up in the bottom. We don't want the piano to open in the bottom. Actually, in this case, we can because it's a small editing job, nothing really big. You can lower it down to see what's going on. So if you notice, some of the notes start earlier than the others because I'm using my computer keyboard, and they're not all equal length. That's something else we're going to discuss. But right now, to get them to start at the exact bars, like you see this one over here, is not starting at bar 1. So what we can do is we can move over each one, we can move over each one separately, or you can select all of them and then move them over, but there's an easier way. If you go over here to your inspector, in the top left of your screen, with your track selected that you're working with the MIDI, there's a thing called quantize. What quantize does is that it quantizes everything to be perfectly on the beat. So in here, in this case, we would use 16th notes, right? And you see now it moved on, right? It moved everything to the beat except for the first one. Let's try 8th notes now. 8th notes, exactly. 8th notes is when we want to do either 8th or 16th. And now you see everything starts perfectly at the beats. Okay, so you can quantize pretty much anything. If you make let's turn the quantize off for now. Let's turn it off for a second and let us record again. Watch this. Ready? Now we're going to record a little bit of a melody line or something. Just a basic melody line, right? And not everything is where we want it to be. So we'll move it. We'll move it to 8th notes again, and things are going to line up, or 16th notes. So no, not 12th, 16th, right? So things are now more equalized, and this is a very, very useful tool when you're recording. From things are not always going to be on time, even if you're playing with a click track, even if you're playing with drums. So that's that. That is quantize. So now let's talk about the actual piano roll, entering in notes by yourself and how you would go along with that. So let's say you don't want to record something. Let's say you want to write it out with your pencil tool in your thing. It's a hard line to write out. It's a hard melody. It's a hard drum beat. You want to write it out. So what would you do? So first you have to make a region. So you go to your toolbox and you press pencil and you build a little box. Let's make it 4 bars. 4 bars. And now we can double click on it, right? And that opens up that. But this screen is just good for looking at, quickly. we discussed screen sets, and you can open up a bigger piano roll, and we have that screen set on 3. Right? Keyboard still on, it won't work. 3. There you go. Now we have a much bigger piano roll, and we can just draw out a little melody over here. So first of all, let's talk about snap. Snap is over here. You see this is a grid, right, with all these little boxes and lines. So my snap is on division. If I have it on smart, what happens is like this. I hit a note, and I have a small note right there, right? Small note. The thing is that it's not snapping to the edges right away. It's going, it snaps, but it's also, if you want to make, a weird timing thing, or if you want your note to end up in the middle of somewhere, then you would use that, right? What I like to use is, I like to use division, and I like to use snap to absolute value. That means that it snaps right away to the grid, very, very basically. I mean, also in this one, by the way, you're using your pencil tool. And here we created a MIDI note. So let's say we're making a melody. C. You can lower it down like that. And now we just drew out a little melody. I don't know what it's going to sound like, but and if you don't like it, you just delete a note by double clicking on it with your mouse, or you bring it up, or you shorten it down like this. Let's hear it again. And that is basically that's all you really need to know about the piano roll. For me, I just like using snap and snap to absolute value just because I'm used to that from when I was working in FL Studio. When you have a large project, it's good to keep it green up top, like looping it, so that you can work on this part while the rest of the song is playing. If you had other things in the background, in this case, we don't have anything else in the background, so you don't really need to loop it. But I was just doing it for the tutorial. It's very easy to build chords. If you know how to build a chord, you can learn the chord notes and then just type it in on the keyboard. We can just do this for a second. See, and there's a lot of different functions. First of all, so right now these things are orange. Why the orange? The orange is, if you notice inside the boxes over here. Let's just zoom. Let's just make these things a little bigger. If you notice inside the boxes over here, there's a little line. That is the velocity line. What does that mean? It means that Logic is an amazing program, and that each note you can control the velocity of each note, which is the volume of each note. And if you don't like the velocity of it, you can go to your toolbox over there, and you can go to your velocity tool, and you click on it, and Logic will keep on playing the note. You can go up or down. Red is the highest velocity. The red is the highest velocity that you can get. And that's the lowest. It goes from 1 to 127. So, we're good over here. What you can do is you can select them all. And actually, let's just do it like this. You can select everything. And then you can go to the velocity tool. And you can bring down everything at once, you see? So if you don't like your velocities, you can fix that up. Also, another thing you can do in here is you can scissor everything. It's going to do it to the snap, obviously, because the snap is on. If you wanted to make little cuts, I would say go to ticks, and you can make teeny little cuts like that, depending on what you want to do. So that's basically all you really need to know about the thing. Here you can transform stuff in the functions thing. Let's say you want to do random velocities on all your things. It opens up this guy, and there's a lot of crazy things. I just usually press select and operate if I'm doing something like that, and all of a sudden you go back, and now your things are at different velocities. If you want to go to humanize it, let's see what the humanize thing does for us. I don't know what that really did. That's the honest truth. If you wanted to do a crescendo, crescendo is when it goes up in volume. So you see it's starting from a low velocity because purple was number 1, and it's going to start building up in volume by itself. This is good for classical music. Hold on. some reason it's not working. Let's see if I have it on division. Alright. In this case, you can't really tell that the volume is going up, but it's good if you're using classical music strings, different things like that. So over here, there's transform, and there's, let's see, scale 14 pitch bend. You can do something like that. I don't know really what that does. Sometimes I'm very confused about what goes on over there. Okay, now over here, bottom left, there's a screen. You have this three little lines. You open this guy up, and you see that right now this is the volume. If you want to edit the volume, you just go like that, or like this. Hit the edge of it, just take the edge of it, and bring it up. Now the velocities are changing. We can also do. There's different things over here like that. You can do channel pressure, no velocity, different things like that. Other. I don't know what that does. Hold on. So that's the and you can just bring down the volume of the whole entire track like this. You can automate it, which we'll discuss automation soon. But right now we were talking about. What were we talking about? We were talking about the panorama. No, we weren't talking about panorama. We were talking about off. Let's bring it back up again for a second. How did we get back to there? No velocity, right? No velocity. This is basically the tool you're going to use the most. Where you can just edit things very, very quickly. Fine. Let's get out of the piano roll. And now you see that the velocities are on your region. You see that there's like the editing that you did shows up on your region. Like from this section to that section, the notes go down and up. Fine. Let's delete that. Take this away. Fine. So now let's discuss basics of dance music and different things like that. I'll show you how to start setting up kicks and basses, and we'll go for it. Fine. So first thing you're going to need is you're going to need some samples. To get some samples, there's free packs all over the internet. Logic doesn't really come with that many great like kicks and stuff for dances. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in Ultra Beat, but I like using my own stuff. So what I do is I go to my browser, and I go to home, I go to desktop, I have my sounds for Logic here, I have like all these different things that I have, that I downloaded and that I had from when I was in FL Studio. And if you want to hear something, that's a kick, that's for psytrance, not really for what we're looking for. So I go over here, and I go to my effects, and I have I just have a lot of samples here. Let's pick one out. So I found this kick I like, right? The kick I like is from Obsidia. He's an artist, and this is a sample pack. Take that one, and we bring it in. Okay, now we have one kick, and we use the pointer. Let's take this guy out. Let's up the tempo because 120 is a little bit slow. That's more like house techno. Let's just stay at like 135. That's a good balance between like dubstep and electro, house, trance, techno, psytrance. It's good. So let's say we were using this kick, right? And we put them all like that. We select them. We hit Option, left click, and we have 4 kicks, right? Too slow, right? That's not the way you line it up. The way you line it up is 1, 2, right? Now that you have 4 kicks, you can just select them. Nope, not bad. It's a little bit annoying sometimes. Now we have a 4-bar loop of kicks. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? If you spread it out, you see that they're a little bit bigger than before, the volume on each audio transients. And that's just basic. That's how you would set up your kicks. So it gets quite annoying, copying and pasting through the whole entire track. So what you can do is you can go like this. right click, and you go to folder, and you go pack folder, and now you have, it's like a region of your audio thing. So now you can loop it even better, and you can just go convert loops to real copies. Now you got your kicks again, right? If you open it up and you go back to it, so it goes back to it, right? You don't want to click on it. You just want to, go to it. Let's do that one more time. Let's go to pack folder, and you can just see, you can just go back and edit it. Let's see, hold on one second. Fine. So we have that. Why is the end there? I don't know why the end is there. That's a little box. That's just, so that's another way to, thing. We want to convert loops to real copies. Fine. So now we have these folders over here. Okay. And see, I'm getting confused for a second. Alright, anyway, that's a good way to do it. The other way to do it is like this. The other way to do something is without that, because you're going to want to keep on editing, let's say for build-ups or for breaks or whatever, is you right-click on this guy. Now you click on the region, right? Your first kick, okay? You go to audio, and you go convert regions to new sampler track. And it's going to say convert regions, I'm going to create zones from regions. Obsidian electric kick, trigger note is C5 to G8. Okay, now what that's going to do is that's going to open up an EXS sampler, and we're going to delete this guy. And now you'll see that we have the region. So there's a problem with the sampler in Logic actually, which is interesting. Ooh, what the heck just happened here? This isn't fun, people. Alright, let's mess that up. Sorry about that, people. We messed it up for a second. Let's try that one more time. Okay, we have it in there. Let's delete that. We're going to hold that audio convert regions to new sampler track. Okay, press OK. Now we have the EXS24. Okay, and the EXS24 is, let's play for a second. It's not playing. Why is it not playing? I don't know why, but sometimes it doesn't always work out. You have to go open up your EXS24. You have to go to edit. And you see at the bottom, this is where your track is going to be playing from. Let's say we start it down from root note 3, and we bring it up to there. That means that you can place kicks on any of these notes. Okay, right? So now you just press save, and now, why isn't it playing though? It's weird. Very, very weird what's going on over here right now. I'm not sure why it's not playing. Let's press that. I don't know why this isn't working. And very, very confused actually, because usually this is how it goes, and this is how it's supposed to be. You know what? Let's try it one more time, and we're just going to try it one more time, people. That's me and my wife. Great. Next. Fine. Let's try that one more time. Browser. There. Desktop. Sounds for Logic. Obsidian sample collection. Kicks. No. I want to do kick. Okay. We got the kick going, right? 1. And we decided that we don't want to pack take folder. We don't want to keep on copying and pasting. So we do this. We go to audio. Convert audio to new sampler track. let's start from C3 actually, just because C3 is a good note. We'll press OK. There you go. So now you have inside your piano roll, you have your kicks, right? And you just 2, 3, 4, don't put it down, right? We have to change the thing like that. Right, so now we have our region and it's running off of EXS24 sampler. If you delete that guy, then this guy will still play, and now you're just left with your kick loaded into your EXS24, and if you want to loop it, you can loop it. If you want to shorten it, you can shorten it. And if, let's say, at the end of bar 8, you know, over here, right, you want to make something a little bit different, so you can just go, let's say we lower it down to there like that. And now your kicks are much easier to edit. Like, instead of, you know, using audio for that, that would be crazy to start editing audio in that way. At the end of this region, like that. So that's the best way to do it, is take an audio file, you know, have it convert regions to new sampler track, and now you have that. And you can do that with anything. You can do that with snares. You can do that with hi-hats. In the next tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do things like this with Ultra Beat. I'm going to start working on kicks and basses. Sorry about the delay before when it wasn't working. Please subscribe. I'm going to be teaching you a lot. Check out my music on SoundCloud. And peace.